First things first, Ice Trey came to play in Game 1. How did he silence a garden full of Knicks fans last night? Julio might be on the move. Could he be headed to New England to join Cam Newton and Bill Belichick? And the Brooklyn Nets took care of business in Game 1. Did they prove they are, in fact, the title favorites? Good Monday morning, everyone. Welcome to First Things First. Jenna Wolf, Nick Wright, Brandon Marshall, Kevin Wildes. We have so much great playoff basketball to talk about. Brandon, my friend, your Brooklyn Nets. You like what you saw from them Saturday night?
Not only them, I just loved what I saw all weekend from basketball. Jenna, the football player turned basketball analyst, takes her hot. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay.
Can't wait.
Okay. Well, right out of the gate, here we go. Lakers, Suns, Game 1 from yesterday. Nick said on Friday LeBron would use Game 1 to test the waters, that the Lakers would probably lose in so doing. He was right. I'm not sure he thought they'd struggle the way they did, though. Just 7 of 26 from beyond the arc and an absolute dud from Anthony Davis right out of the gate. Gonna need to be better from the brow tomorrow night in Game 2, and he knows it. Take a listen to this.
There's no way we're winning a game, let alone a series, with me playing the way I play. So, this was on me. I'll take full responsibility for sure. We'll be better game 2.
His proclamation. Meanwhile, the Lakers have been here before. Remember, they lost Game 1 in the first 2 rounds last season. So let me start with you, Brandon. Can the Lakers trust Anthony Davis enough to win the series after his Game 1 struggles? You've been on him all season about his play.
Yeah, no, Jenna, they can't trust him. We saw exactly what we saw all this year last night. 2 nights ago. This Lakers team, they're not going to make it out of the first round if this guy continues to play this way. But I don't see any light at the end of the tunnel, Nick. You hedged your bet. You and Chris hedged your bet talking about, well, the first game will be a fill-out game for LeBron James, but it has nothing to do with LeBron James. We know we're going to get out of LeBron James. He's going to get other people involved until that ankle gets to 100%. AD is the key. AD, 13 points, 0 for 2 from 3. The dude, since returning from this Achilles injury, is 18% from the three-point line. This dude is having an awful year, and you don't usually see this from superstars. You'll see this from mid-tier guys. You'll see a superstar every once in a while have a bad quarter, a bad game, but never a bad season. So the Lakers should be worried, Nick. There's trouble in Los Angeles because AD is missing. Now, if we want to put out nicknames for guys, whether it's Lemon Pepper Lou, Paul George has what? PG-13, Playoff P. Then we got to do something for AD. How about we go with AP on AD? How about we do that? Let's put an APB out on AD. Can we do that? Can we do that?
Yeah, so listen. So you've been, thus far this season, you've been on Anthony Davis, and you were rewarded with, he's played 35 career playoff games. Yesterday was his worst by far. It was the worst playoff game he's ever had. And what's so disappointing about that is it came against the team where he had his best game of the season just 2 weeks ago. Inspired me to put that ridiculous unibrow on my face saying the brow is back. We know he can dominate this team, and yet he was a ghost. I don't even care that he was missing jump shots. I care that he was only taking jump shots, and he seemed to not even be interested in rebounding the basketball. The first half, he had, what do you have, 1 rebound in the entire first half? He was a ghost the entire game, and he let DeAndre Ayton, D.A., who was the #1 pick of his draft, dominate his first playoff game. So Anthony Davis obviously has to be better. But I didn't hedge my bet. I did expect the Lakers to lose this game.
Definitely.
However, Wildes, there is some significant changes they must make immediately. Usually you wait till later in the postseason or later in the series. Andre Drummond cannot start. Andre Drummond, goodbye. Alex Caruso, hello. The way to get Anthony Davis back on track is to make him play big. Instead, and Brandon's been on this, Wilds, he's been trying to play this year like he's Kevin Durant, like he's a 7-footer with the best jump shot in the league. He's not. He's got a good shot for a 7-footer. That doesn't mean that's what he should be doing. But when Drummond's out there, he's floating out by the 3-point line. And even late in the game, Wilds, when Drummond wasn't out there, Anthony Davis was letting DeAndre Ayton crush him on the offensive glass. So AD needs to be better. And by the way, LeBron had 8 points in the first 4 minutes and 10 points the rest of the way. So this was the worst playoff game LeBron has had since game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals against Boston 3 years ago. LeBron will be better. AD has to be better. But I still feel very confident about Lakers in 6. But they need to make some adjustments immediately.
Yeah, you said that AD was playing like Kevin Durant. He was also playing like your old buddy Kevin Wilds. And your old buddy Kevin Wilds is not an NBA player, but he has played in a few games that he doesn't belong in. And he looked a lot like me, because here's what I do in games that I don't belong in. When you're kind of like the warm body, like, hey, you, guy in the running shoes, you want to play? We need one more. I'm like, yeah, I'll play. Here's what I do, exactly like AD's game. 1, hang around the 3-point line and just kind of wait for the ball. Maybe I'll get it, maybe I don't, but don't get into the action. Number 2, set picks. Hey, everybody likes to set a pick. Problem is, I'm not the focus of the offense like AD should be. And number 3, when I do get the ball, if we can show this video, I try to do something to make up for all my ineffectiveness, like, I don't know, a 360 turnarout jump shot. So you know what? If this one goes in, I'll look great. And Nick, you talked about the offensive rebounds. I also let my guy out-rebound me on the offensive glass 8-0. So overall, AD, some quick advice. Usually 2 Modelo's after the game does the trick for me. For you, I think you should talk to Frank Vogel to get you more involved in the game.
And another thing to look at, I mean, you brought up the rebounds, and that's big, because if you watch that game and you look at his emotions, like his mindset, I don't know if he's there. You look at the monster slams. He had some big dunks in that game, and you saw no emotion coming from him after he hit the floor. And then also on the defensive side, there was no extra effort. There was no closeout. This is a game 1 for a team who stumbled to the finish line to end the season. You would think that they would have more effort, especially coming from AD. LeBron James, like I said earlier, and I also said, last night, you know what to expect from LeBron James. But with AD, man, let's go, brother. Like, you've been back for a very long time from that Achilles injury. The very first thing that we should see is you on the floor. We should see you giving effort, and you just didn't see that last night, Jenna. So outside of him struggling from mid-range and also 3, I think there's concern from an effort standpoint and maybe a mindset standpoint.
So let's jump into the actual game itself. You saw what happened late in this one after LeBron went for the rebound after he missed his free throw. It looks like Chris Paul pulls him down. It leads to a scuffle. That results in Cameron Payne getting tossed. Texts were handed out to Alex Caruso and Montrezl Harrell. Nick, Frank Vogel called this a dangerous play. Is he right about it?
Yeah, it's a dangerous play. It's a Chris Paul play. Nobody has been more pro Chris Paul this season than me. I think he's one of the most underrated players ever. I love him as a guy. I love him as a player, as what he does on and off the court. But Wilds, he likes to get in the margins. And he's got a little Stockton to him. And he's got a little, listen, you can't end up one of the 25 greatest players in league history at 6 feet nothing without having a little of this in you. Now, the dichotomy of when Chris went down, LeBron came over like the big brother, put his arm around him, checked on him. Mark Jackson even inexplicably was like, I don't know if Kobe or Michael would have done that. That's what everybody's thinking. Mark, nobody was thinking that. Thanks for the commentary, though. But then, an hour later, Chris Paul undercuts him and damn near injures him. Like, so this is like, I don't think it was a dirty play. I think it was a Chris Paul play. Like, and that's fine. That's who he is. Right. And that's not negative. It's just who he is. And you got to know that when you're playing him.
That's right. And he knows. He also was pushing a few people. He also pushed Andre Drummond down. But here's the prediction, Brandon. Fans loved it. The internet loves it. Playoff basketball, the narrative's there. The league hates it, and the refs hate it. The refs lost control of the game. This happened. One of the reasons Campaign got ejected is because Caruso bowled into him. It was neither a block nor an offensive foul. Then LeBron gets the ball back. Now Chris Paul, it was a lane violation. He's in there. The refs are going to call the next game super, super tight. So if AD wanted to get back on track, Brandon, he could get down.